Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, today is a Friday. Please, Solomon, if I become faint, you just tell me, you quickly alert me. Yeah, today being a Friday, I know everybody wants to go and rest and do other things. So we will start without further ado. This is a very crucial topic on self-branding as a powerful tool, particularly for the young and emerging evaluators. And the VOPE that is facilitating this is Monitoring and Evaluation Professionals Association of Kenya. So you'll notice that all the members listed are from this VOPE, or rather the network, but we also have one guest speaker who is a specialist in this area and whom we are very happy to be with today. Now to the next. This thing will disturb me like this. I'll just share in a way that I'll just go without really going full screen since it's really taking time to change. Okay. You can see the screen, eh? So we will have a short sequence because we don't want to take much of your time. We'll have the welcome, which I've welcomed you, self-introduction. I requested all of you to just go into the chat and introduce yourself, tell us who you are and where you are joining from. Then now the housekeeping rules, please ensure you mute yourself so that only the speakers can be left unmuted. But at the end of it all, we will allow you to ask questions and also to interact. Then at the same time, we will be recording this because also for the sponsors who have sponsored will need to see this. It's just prudent that we record it and also to share with other members who may not be here. And without further ado, now I'll go and introduce the speakers. We have 3 speakers. Our first speaker is Solomon Gitao. Solomon Gitao is a young and emerging evaluator, a specialist in remote sensing and also GIS and also land survey. He will tell us who he is when he starts his presentation. But that is Solomon, very active, an active member, and also a member of other forums and networks. Then we have the second one, Ted Owino. Ted Owino is a specialist in terms of branding. He's a marketer by profession. He does a lot of branding. He has done for us branding. He'll tell us some of those brands that he does. So I won't preempt, and we are happy to have him here. And the third one, of course, is me. I'm a monitoring and evaluation and gender consultant. I'm also a member of MEPAC, and we've done quite a number of things with Solomon, and we've also been in other sessions with Solomon. So we are quite acquainted with one another. We felt this would be a good topic because in most forums, we talk about how to analyze, how to collect data, how to pass information, but we forget how we can grow as ourselves, as individuals in this competitive world. Our moderator was supposed to be Sarapana Boru, who is also a young and emerging evaluator and an indigenous evaluator for that matter. But unfortunately, I can't see if he has joined. So I think we will just move on. He's in a county, so could be the challenge in Marsabit, could be the challenge of internet or the like, but we are really happy that he was willing to do this. So I will allow Solomon to just take us through the first slides. Then I'll come in, and then we will have Ted also come in after me. Solomon, please go ahead. Solomon? I see you're muted, Solomon. Solomon? What happened? Solomon, are you there?
Ida?
Yes, you are there.
Okay. Yes, I'm here.
Please go ahead. Yeah.
So it was a bit, I don't know why my voice from my end was getting lost. So should I go ahead and with the presentation?
Perfect. Yes.
And do I necessarily have to use the PowerPoint?
Not necessarily.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So thank you, everyone, and welcome. So my name is Solomon Getau. I'm a young and emerging evaluator, and I'm a member of the MAPAC, that is the Monitoring and Evaluation Professional Association of Kenya, and also a member of the AGDEN, the African Gender and Development Evaluator Network. So it's a good opportunity that you are here today to discuss this issue of self-branding, which is, we are saying that is not a luxury but a necessity for each and every emerging evaluator who want to succeed or create a space in the evaluation industry. So with those few remarks, request Ida to, if the extent to which I can follow for on the PowerPoint. Ida.
Yes, please.
So how far do I go to the on the PowerPoint so that I time myself?
Yeah, you can go the 3 PowerPoints, the introduction.
The three, the
Yes.
three part of introduction.
Yes.
So, okay, thank you. So we are saying that in today's comprehensive, competitive, and ever-evolving professional landscape, so branding is no longer an option. We have said it's an essential things that each and every one of us need to do. For a young evaluator, that is young and emerging evaluator, branding goes beyond creating a professional image, but showcasing your unique expertise, what can attract a client or potential investor in your skills, establishing credibility and differentiating yourself in a crowded field, building trust with stakeholder, securing opportunity, and driving impactful change. So you see that a necessity to communicate your value, highlight your achievement, and position yourself as a thought leader. These are some of the things that can make you create your good niche for yourself. In the evaluation community, you must be ready to leverage on the power also of branding to evaluate your career and make a lasting impact. So you can
Sorry.
proceed to the next slide. So we have some figure here that indicates data from the World Bank that indicates that in Africa you have only about 350 million jobs which are available for us. And then we can see we have a deficit of about 100, 650 million people with no job. So now this is where it creates a necessity for rebranding yourself so that you can be able to take yourself from among the 650 million people to the 350 million people. So in the evaluation community, are you ready to leverage the power of self-branding to elevate yourself and make a lasting impact. These are points for us to be able to reflect and see what that we have done to ourselves, to our image, to our skills, to our experience, and to our relationship by establishing ourselves as among the other evaluator. That relationship that we have created among our fellow colleagues in the evaluation industry, so that we can be able to have our image. So we can proceed to the next one. So the origin of branding, the African perspective, we look at what that definition says. Branding originally meant banning, the verb sense of to permanently mark with a hot iron. So you're marking your space in the evaluation industry, the mark of ownership. So we have the evolving from mark of ownership to a trademark, that is a legal mark that we can use to carry about our evaluation business. We have the leveraging on psychology to adapt the behavior through association, and this moved to mark of trust. So we have to study what the people needs. How do they take various things, like as a young evaluator, how do the people in the industry or the major stakeholder in the industry, those who are going to give us the job, how do we try to understand what is doing so that you can be able to present yourself in a way that is acceptable. So we have the one that has moved from recognition to being loved. So once you are recognized and you treat your own space well, then your image will now become something that will be loved by people, and they'll be able to trust you and give you some jobs that you can make a good living out of it. So if you proceed to the next slide.
Yeah.
So therefore, what is a brand? You have the identifiable figure that elicits a thought and feeling about a person, the product, or the company. As the product is made in the factory, the brand is created in the mind, moves from uh, transaction relation to meaningful relations, and from just making statement to telling good stories, good success stories of what that we have done.
Thank you
So,
very much.
so thank you to that one. So I wish to hand over to Ida
Yes.
to guide us more.
Thank you.
I hope the noise from the noise in my background is not that interfering.
No, we are happy you are constructing.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Solomon. Allow me to take you through the other points. I don't know why it keeps failing from my side to move. Uh, Now, ladies and gentlemen, as Solomon said, branding, of course, means now from moving from that transactional relationship to that relationship of trust. That's why we usually put, when you have a brand, you see people trust you more, they can relate with you, they know what you're offering, and if they need what you're offering for them. Of course, the importance of branding, especially to the young and emerging evaluators. Why we really focus on the young and emerging evaluators, it's because they need to come with the 650 million people who are jobless. They need, everybody has to strive to jump from that and get something to do, whether as an employee, or even as an employer, employing others, or as an investor doing consultancies and the like. So the importance of branding, it really helps in memory aid. When I see something that belongs to maybe a logo of MEPAC, it helps that person to remember there's MEPAC. I saw MEPAC somewhere, so let me go and look out at who this MEPAC is, if I can join, if it's something for me or not. And then it's a signal for quality. When you can see somebody is bold enough to put out there what he or she does, you know, yeah, this person could be offering quality. It's not just coming with substandard things. And then one person is able to differentiate self from others. And it also elicits emotion. If you have seen the brands like Akina Coca-Cola, those in Kenya, there's something like Safaricom. You can see, or even Kenya breweries. Even if you don't take those things, you can see they kind of elicit that emotion. If it's an advert that is coming, you look at it once, twice, and it sticks in the mind. You can see green somewhere and know that green is for Safaricom. You can see people being happy drinking Coca-Cola, even without seeing Coca-Cola. You'll kind of know that is Coca-Cola. And for that, it gives you a higher payoff, a value for money than a person who is not branding at all. This is almost the same. When you are branding yourself, before we go to the practical part of branding, what do you want to do? How do you want to do it? You want to make people aware of who you are. You want them to be aware, even in there's something we call aided awareness and unaided awareness. Unaided awareness is whereby people express knowledge even without being prompted. You can easily say, I know Coca-Cola, even without being asked, what is this? That's unaided awareness. Aided awareness is whereby people, when you ask them, do you know 1, 2, 3? They say, yes, I know, I've heard about it or I've seen it. So you have, first of all, to kind of nudge them for them to remember that thing. And also, when you are branding yourself, you want really to have quality in your area. You want to be able to be even though you are right from school, you want to be able to have that technical skills. You want people to look for you, to search for you. You also want to express yourself as a leader. But leadership is learned over time. It's not something that you're born with. Everybody can be a leader. And then you want people also to trust you. When people don't trust you, even getting those gigs and jobs and consultancies become very hard. So you want that trust. You want to show leadership. You want to show quality. You want to show people that you are relevant in a certain area. So their confidence, when they are giving you something to do, their confidence, this person will really deliver. But now, all that is just theoretical. Then how do we do it? Let me move to the next. To do it, we just summarize it in 3 things. Mostly it's, you can say red, just to remember. There's the relevance, there's the easy, and then there's this other one, it's to be distinguishable, to be distinguished, to be distinctive. So in the first one of relevance, this one, you really need to know what is my strong area. Have that, I could call it a North Star, have that star which sparkles. I'll give you a good example of Solomon. The last year we did a project, indigenous project, and he really came out with a very good project on indigenous, but in the part of taboo. And when he went to present in Kigali on the same project, right now everybody is calling him Mr. Taboo, Mr. Taboo. You see, that star sparkled. Yeah. So the Mr. Taboo, everybody can identify with him. People are calling him, hey, come and present for us that, come and tell us more about it. So that relevance, you become relevant in that area. People can associate with you. People can call you out when they want to know something. People can even tell you, now go and do further that project further. So they want to kind of associate with you more. In this, you are aligning with your identity, be authentic. Solomon did not go and just pick somebody's project somewhere or go and copy from books. He had to go to the community and extract that authentic information right from the community, looking at those old men and women and the community. What is it? What is this taboo songs? What have you? So you can know this is a true thing. It's coming right from the source. It's not just it's not stolen from other people's things. So that is really being relevant and having that star, your North Star, with you. Then it's about repeating a behavior until it becomes easy. When you want to brand yourself, we will look in the next slide how to do it. You repeat something until people can associate it with you, so that people are mentally available and connecting with you, also being physically available and connecting with you, both mentally, both physically. As I was saying about Safaricom, I was talking about Coca-Cola. You can easily associate with them mentally in your mental capacity. You know about Coca-Cola. And when you go really on the ground, you hear when you're asking for soft drinks, you hear people asking for it or asking for the SIM card and whatever. So they start association easy. They have made it easy, repetitive, until people are able to, to associate with them. And now this practical part, I just want to show you then, if we have talked of all that, how do you become distinctive? How do you stand out in that noisy crowd? We are 650 people. In fact, we are a billion. Only 350 have jobs comfortably. The other 650 are swimming there. It's a noisy crowd. How do you be able to stand out from that noisy crowd so that people can identify you from that 650 million in Africa? Or if it is in Kenya, I think the number also is quite big. The noisy crowd is quite big. We saw what was happening the other day with the Gen Z. Meaning people are desperate. They're out there. They don't have jobs. They are wondering why we have to be mistreated like this when we are very much qualified. So one, please, today, you make sure you do a digital audit of yourself. And this is done through one, Googling your name. In fact, I had said I will want, it's only that it's a Friday. I would want you even right now as we continue, you go to your phone or your laptop if it's aside there and Google your name, put your name. Don't Google somebody else. Don't Google Ida, don't Google Solomon. Put your name and Google it and see what comes out. Are you really coming out when you put yourself on Google? Or maybe what is coming out is a certain case that was there for Shamba and what have you. What is coming out? What have you done? Even what you did in campus, have you kind of showed it out so that when you're Googled, something comes out. Ida has done this 1, 2, 3. Ida is a member of MEPAC. Ida has, you become kind of relevant if you know what I'm talking about. Number 2, apart from Googling your name, please also go to google.com alerts. You just click on the Google alerts and see what also comes out. It's very, very important. If you can be doing this, even if it's every 2 weeks or every month, it will really help you. The Google alerts are kind of, when you do something, it goes to the alerts. If it's not going to the alerts, then there's something wrong. You've got to put your data so that it's going to the alerts. Anybody out there, even if it's maybe UNFPA, World Bank, MasterCard, Ford Foundation, at least they should be able to Google when they do something, the name Ida comes out, Solomon comes out, somebody else comes out, so that you become kind of the first person that they can opt to come to. Number 3, it's doing personality test. This is for you. Get to know your strength, get to know your weakness, get to know areas that you can work on. Evaluation is not only about doing evaluation, it's about creating yourself in a 360 way. So make sure you grow just like a tire. When you're driving a car or a bicycle or a motorcycle, if a tire it's not round, all of it, if there are grooves, some places are kind of a rupture or a hole, then it cannot move well. So that's the same as a person. Be able to know your 360 degree circle. How strong are you? Where are you weak? What can you do about it? And this way you can use many personality tests there. We have the Myers-Briggs type personality test and quite a number. If you just Google personality test, you'll be able to see who you are, and then you can take those and get to know your strengths. So I would have wanted you to do that, Googling your name right now and the Google alerts right now, just as we continue. That will be a homework I give you to do. Then also do personal SWOT analysis. Uh, Identify your strengths, identify your weaknesses, identify now the opportunities that are there. Remember, we talked about the 360 million people. 650 million, and the other 350 who are somewhere at least good, and 600 swimming there, still wondering when will it happen. Then identify also your threats. What are the threats? Maybe the high taxes, maybe the economical crunch and the like. So identify all that, be candid with yourself. There are also many tools that you can use, like mind tools. Make sure you use these tools at this time. At one time, maybe today these tools are free. By the time you come tomorrow, you find that they are charging. You start being told, send $1 to get these tools. So make use of things that are there at this time. Then you can also do the 360-degree feedback. You can use custom insights, gather feedback from your peers. This is also like a 360, the one I was talking about. Gather feedback from your peers. How do you see me? How do you see my professional life? Where do you find me weak? Gather feedback from mentee, those people whom you have mentored. Then gather feedback also from your mentors. Somebody who has mentored you, tell the person, tell me honestly the weakness that you saw in me so that I can work on them to be strong. Your supervisors, if it's in school, if it's also at work, ask them to give you, an honest opinion. And then you can work on that. You better yourself. Let your today not be just the way you were yesterday. Now, this is in view, of course, now the M&E skills. If the person tells you, maybe I saw you don't know really how to write a good proposal, then there, you be happy with that, and you work on that writing of proposals. Look, how do I write proposals? How do I present? How do I present in conferences? How do I publish? How do I analyze and the like? Another important thing that many people, I think it was last year or it was just this year before the conference, I was shocked to realize that many people don't have LinkedIn. I told somebody to go to LinkedIn, I think, and do something, and the person was like, what is LinkedIn? Please, if you don't have LinkedIn, today also another homework before you sleep, make sure you create a profile in LinkedIn. Go to LinkedIn, click LinkedIn, and then you create a profile. This is a very professional, site. So there you are able to meet different people, different employers, different employees, people with different strengths. Then after you have created your profile, if you so wish, you can create a LinkedIn page. But the most important thing is having that profile first. Then also now enhance your public image. Public image, this is something within your control. It's what you want with it. Make sure at least you present yourself in a presentable way. Sometimes you've had stories that are told that somebody was going for a job interview, maybe was rude to a person on the way, and then when you go to that job interview, you meet, that's the same person that you abused on the way, it's your interviewer. So put that public image in a good way. As I finish, before giving TED, have that role model. Look at somebody. Is it somebody, whichever the area, maybe an analyst, maybe like me, I really find like Solomon is a role model to me in the area of that remote sensing and GIS. I'm like, wow, that is something. If I want somebody to teach or not even to teach, to do for me something analysis using GIS or GPX, I know, oh, I can go to Solomon. So, have a role model. If I want somebody to know more about gender issues, I know, oh, I can go to Dr. Etta. So you look for a role model in different areas, think of that person and ask yourself, how do they make me feel? I feel confident. I feel, wow, I can rely on those people. I can learn a lot from them. And also look at the person who has been negative to you. Ask yourself, what is it what do you feel about them? What makes them not attractive? You don't want to be staying with somebody, who is negative, who is failing you, who is pulling you back. So have that role model always. So just as Maya Angelou said, I think everybody knows this, Black American, I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. That is now falling into a role model. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I will not allow questions now so that Ted can tell us on what he does and how this is very important for branding. Ted, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Eda. I can see you guys have done a lot of justice to the branding topic. I'm really amazed. I've also learned a lot of stuff. Personally, I am a marketing mind, just like Eda said. I've been in this, I think, for a number of years, since 2001 until today. Worked with a couple of organizations. But I discovered that I have a bias in branding, advertising, visibility, and creative. And that's why I have concentrated on this, and it has really paid dividends. I'm not going to the definition of branding and other things, but I just say a few things before I go to my main presentation. Unfortunately, I may not be able to showcase any slide. I had a disruption. My laptop crashed. But once I retrieve the information, I'll be able to send it to Eda via the relevant means. A brand, for me, it's like a promise. A promise, we are told a promise is a debt. So if you give a promise, you should be very sure that you're going to fulfill it. And a brand is also your reputation. If I asked you guys right now, what are you known for? What are you known for? People know you as Eda, people know you as Solomon and the rest of us. But what are you specifically known for? That is actually your brand, if you didn't know. So however you're living that brand will explain a lot. You hear this guy's reputation is this guy's reputation is that. It is the way you carry out yourself. The promise comes out either negatively or positively. I just want to say that every other professional that we know of, it used to be specific areas that used to do branding and advertising and marketing. But these days, any other professional, you cannot escape branding, advertising, and all this sort of publicity. In fact, even in some ethics where they are not allowed to advertise, like doctors, medical people are not really allowed to advertise, but you'll find there is a way they bring out themselves uniquely from the clutter, from the crowd. That is actually the branding part of professional. So you guys in monitoring and evaluation, also you have an audience, and this audience is looking for something. Nobody's going to put money in your pocket. Nobody's going to give you a job. Nobody's going to give you a contract if they're not getting anything from you. And sometimes they're looking for that person, and the only way they can get that person is by knowing that person. And if you brand yourself, slowly you come out of the clutter. Like my sister was saying a little bit, where we have about 350 people seated. You should be uniquely identified because of the way you've carried yourself. just not your logo, but even the way you present yourself should be unique so that somebody is able to pick you out from the crowd. These people are looking for your skills. You could be a PhD, you could be one of the best in the industry. But if we are not able to know that you are, or to identify or spot you, or to actually look for you, we may not be able to get your services. So that's how branding comes in very key. That's now where we get the place of showcasing your skill. For you to showcase your skill, you need an audience, you need a platform, you need somebody to give you an opportunity. So as an evaluator, as much as you know so much, if you do not have these opportunities, and if you do not use these opportunities well, then you disappear. You just talked about a story of somebody who was presenting and is being called a taboo. See, that aspect of taboo alone, brought the person out in the open. And now people are asking, oh, can that taboo guy come and do a presentation? You see, that is branding for him. Your audience has expectations. Well, you can brand yourself, and that's why I said, if you're giving a promise, make sure that your promise is deliverable. If you're giving a promise, the client who is paying you will want you to showcase some of the things probably you've done or what you're going to do for him. And if they discover in the mix that you are not able to do that, therefore branding will if you're branding yourself, it will play out negatively because it will present you in bad repute instead of presenting you positively. And do not forget, you're not the only monitoring and evaluating officer expert. So there are millions of them. And the millions of them are also looking for the same contract that you're looking for. So if you're not able to be picked, if you cannot get yourself to be picked from the crowd, then it becomes another problem again. You see, the digital disruption, we're calling this age digital disruption. We want to take a lot of shortcuts to get to the things that we do. I didn't tell you guys, but the creative part of me has led me to be a founder. I'm actually a founder of a software as a service company called Aris. I'm a co-founder. We're currently working on a software on security, and it's going to revolutionize security systems and management in the whole world, not just in Kenya, but in the whole world. So that you get to the place, when I get to that place, nobody will know what I'm doing. But if I brand myself well, and then I use that opportunity, I'm going to talk about how you pledge yourself to be visible, and I put myself in the visibility, then somebody who wants a security management system that is convenient will simply go to the internet and click security systems. And then because I've maximized my visibility, they're able to pick me. They're able to pick me, and from nowhere, somebody I do not know, somebody I didn't even think about, calls me for a contract. And that's the same thing you guys as evaluators are supposed to do. Then you have contracts and contracts. The only question is, when you get these contracts, some of the things I'm going to talk about, make sure that you know exactly and you are sure of what you're doing. Because if you present yourself bad, that is the impression you give to that person for the rest of their knowledge of you, and they will never contact you. So when it gets to that place, you also become very, very, very careful. There's something I'm going to say that probably should connect all these things we are saying that I'm saying, that if you forget everything that we said, do not forget this. The power of branding is not just in its ability to sell, but it's also in its ability to do three core things to your audience, to your customer, to your target persons. Number one, connection. To connect you with your audience. It's supposed to connect with your audience. Number two, it's supposed to actually inspire your audience. That's what brings them back every now and then. That's what will keep them talking to you. They'll keep them asking you for help. Will keep them, giving you contracts. And then apart from connecting with them and inspiring them, you're supposed to have an engagement. So your branding, your promise, your reputation, whatever you are doing is supposed to connect with your audience. It's supposed to inspire your audience, and it's supposed to engage, help you engage with your audience. Let me tell you, that's what makes the difference between a one-time customer and a lifelong customer. You've seen some people who give you a job and they don't come back. You wonder why they don't come back. And there are some cases you give a job and they come back. It is how you connected with them. It is how you inspired them. And the basic engagements that you guys had was very promising. And they're able to actually continue dealing with you. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we
Hello?
can. We can hear you.
Yeah,
Can you,
Yes.
can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Good. So far, are we okay?
Quite okay.
So that I don't seem to be talking to myself.
No, you're perfect.
Good. So, like I said, you're going to need some openings to help you get to have this brand that you want. You've got to know what should I do so that I actually display the brand that should be able to take me to the next level, even in my profession. Like my sister said somewhere, you got to develop your unique value proposition. Like I said, we are a lot of people doing evaluation and monitoring, but there's something that distinguishes you from the rest of the guys. So what you do in the exercise, you look for gaps. Like she said, you look at your peers, you engage with your peers, but you'll always find that your peers, there's something that they're not doing in the industry, they're not doing in the profession. So if you get a glimpse of that, if you put your finger on that, that is a unique value proposition, and that really helps you to champion your brand. And then again, as you do that, what is your end goal? What is your vision in the entire of this? See, they say where there's no vision, people perish. Because if your end goal is just to make money, it will get to a place whereby even boredom and complacency creeps in. But if you have a vision is what drives you in what you do. I mean, you know there's a place you're going. So until you get to that place, you're not relenting. So you should have a vision even as you try to craft up your brand. Another critical thing, like I said, this is a very disruptive age, a digital age. The platforms where you're showcasing your brand is also very key. We've got the social media. Social media, we have a number of them. We have Instagram, we have TikTok, we have Facebook, we have, Telegram, and all those platforms that we have, WhatsApp, and all those things. When you know your audience, when you understand your audience, when you know what you're doing, you're able to associate with those that are looking for you in the various platforms. So you look at what the other platforms are offering, who is there, what are they doing there, then you showcase what you're doing in the relevant, it can be everywhere, but it is good to be in specific places so that you're able to be picked and you be related with easily. Look for your audience in the right places. Let them not look for you where they'll not get you. There's also of course, we still have the traditional media. Like if you're given an opportunity to talk in a TV station, a TV show, that's also a very important platform that you can use. When you're doing a logo and you're doing a visibility issues, and normally also to have your website also should communicate your brand very clearly. If you go to YouTube, YouTube also has a specific clientele, and I've discovered that for YouTube, you've got to be very careful with your content creation. They've got to be crisp and very concise. People will not take too long even if it's a long topic. I'd rather you chop it into very many small, interesting topics that will actually showcase your talent and your skills, so that you're chosen as you become as a favorite choice when somebody wants to give out a contract. You can also go to podcasts that guys are doing blog posts and stuff like that. Now, for the evaluators that are listening to me and that are going to be able to listen to this and who are here, it is easy to unlock your potential as a personal brand, of your personal brand. What we did and what we've done, anybody who has gone into this field sometimes, we normally just summarize it into, we call it the 5 Ps. The 5 Ps are actually, it's easy to remind you exactly how you can unlock the potential of your personal brand. If I'll go through the Ps very fast, I'll share these slides later, but if I can go through it very fast, the 5 Ps are personal, they're pointed, they're profitable, they're prioritized, and they're purposeful. All these Ps actually are like the pointers. They're like the map of when you're showcasing your brand. For example, when it comes to personal, my sister talked about authenticity. Reflect on your authentic self. Showcase the real you. There's something I know, that you cannot hide yourself from yourself. So there's that bit of you that you know that you are. So showcase the real you even as you're doing all these things in as you're trying to bring out your personal brand. Embrace your passions. Sometimes it is interesting that we go to jobs for different reasons, and that's where we miss on vision. If you get into a profession because you want to make money, what happens if you do not make money? What happens if you make too much money and you do not need more of it? You will quit. It means that basically you do not have a focus of that passion. So embrace your passions and your unique perspectives and showcase them even as you do your work. And let people know that I, as an evaluator, this is what I stand for. And this is the promise that I'm giving even to you as a client. This helps you to create a very good connection with your audience. When I talk about the second one, pointed just means now a focus. Since you've chosen to be a professional in the evaluation industry, sharpen your focus. Make sure that your focus is not scattered. They say scattered personal brand lacks impact. You can do monitoring and evaluation from a long time, for many years, but you don't have impact because if you do not have focus, if you're scattered everywhere, we're not able to put a finger on exactly who you are and what you're able to do. In that aspect, you also make sure that you define your skills, hone your skills. I mean, the learning is continuous. It doesn't matter even if you have a PhD. Learning is continuous, and it's continuous because even in the world that we're living currently, it's so disruptive. The digital era has disrupted. You've just heard about AI. In fact, the product we're doing in the company we founded, we're using AI to construct that security. So you'll find that AI will take a lot of the functions that we do as human beings. So sometimes you're focused on these things, but you're not changing with the dynamics. So make sure that you're honing your skills all the time, you're learning all through, and you continue in that. The third thing probably that I'll talk about is prioritized. Your priorities makes a difference in your personal branding. If you align your actions with your values, then it is going to speak opposite. It's going to speak contrary of what you're professing, and that's a turn off. Some of the clients will be polite enough not to tell you, but they just walk away silently. You're wondering what happened to this client. He's no longer giving you business, and it's simply because you're not aligning your priorities with yours. Maybe just there, around there, I just want to tell you, you've become a brand that is not rooted in values, not only attracts like-minded. If you're rooted in values, you not only attract like minds who will help you get contracts, but it also helps you as a person stand out and also stands the test of time. That is very critical. You could project something that you think is really important, but it cannot stand the test of time, and that becomes an issue in the long run. The other one is purposeful. You're not doing this just for the sake of doing it. It must be having a purpose. So craft a narrative that is going to actually project this thing as who you are. It should be deliberate and it should be impactful. And in the same process, I mean, that's now where you'll find that you'll define your mission, you'll set your goals, and the goals you stick to them. So those are the pointers that are driving you. And then, of course, make sure that you communicate this purpose very carefully. And in every interaction that you have, let that communication be seen. If I may just rush into the rest, going to the profitable, the last P that we're talking about. Now that you've become a brand that is recognized, that you've been pointed out from the crowd, you've been singled out, and business is coming, contracts are coming, make sure that you leverage it on this brand for your success. Make sure you leverage on it so that it actually is the foundation of your success. Personal branding, let me tell you, it's not just for financial gain. I know it's going to bring a lot of money, it's going to bring revenue, it's going to bring contracts, it's going to give us money in the end. But a well-crafted personal brand, it also opens doors for opportunities, for career advancement for those young evaluators. It will open opportunities for you for career advancement, for collaborations and partnerships, and even entrepreneurial ventures. You'll find that you're now getting into a world where you can be also an authority. Just like the way I've been in branding for a long time, The reason I even became a founder is one of the people who was doing a project was told about me. I don't know how he learned about me. Then he called me. And then when he was explaining to me what he wanted to do, it became so obvious that he had a point, but he didn't know how to really come up with it well. So in my creativity and in my experience, I was able to explain to him, and he said, "No, I'm not leaving you behind. You've got to be a co-founder," and that's how I ended up being a co-founder even of this software as a service product. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think I stop there for the time being. But every other thing that we can talk about, there's a lot to talk about branding, personal branding. But what will happen is, as we continue to relate, as we continue to be together, can always reach out, and we are able to do this. Thank you so much, Ada. I hope I didn't take too much time.
Thank you so much, Ted. You took just the right time, quite a lot of information generously, and we are really grateful, quite important. I've learned quite a lot from that. And ladies and gentlemen, now I want to allow you, let me just stop sharing because we are done. I want to allow you to ask questions if you have any, or make a comment, so that we can release you and now go for the Friday rest. Please, anybody with a question, you can either raise your hand or unmute and ask a question or make a comment. Any question, any comments? I don't want to leave anyone behind. I hope the topic on branding was worth it because we focused a lot on the technical part of evaluation and research, and we kind of forget the soft skills. So what just happened here? Okay, Solomon, do you want to say anything as we close off?
Okay, thank you, Ida. So, I would say that for branding, it takes a lot of effort and commitment, and be able sometimes even to volunteer when we're not even making monetary gain, but at least you are gaining some skills and some experience on how to handle things. Sometimes it takes time for you to interact with the people who know something so that you can be able to know what they know, and then you are getting some knowledge. For myself, being a young evaluator, it has taken time and a lot of effort to get to be able to do a project that is going to on Taboo. And actually, yesterday they baptized me another name instead of Mr. Taboo. They are now calling me Dr. Taboo. So I hope that is a positive growth as we grow up in the industry of evaluation. So my project is on taboos in the Gikuyu community, Central Kenya. We are trying to understand what evaluation knowledge you can be able to get out of these taboos that exist in the community. And now, more than that, trying to dig into how they affect various sectors, like the issue on policies and the ethics in the evaluation. So I appreciate everyone for attending this session. It's a good one. I have run something on branding. I try myself to use the network to brand myself to, to be able to tell people who I am. But I see now we have another way. We can be able to share our profiles on the social media. Sometimes back we are told that we just do things as evaluators. We do things and hide them under the table, or we keep them in our phone or in our. So it was recommended that whatever we are doing, that we be sharing on our social media, on our platform, so that if someone searches on Google or the other platform, they can be able to know who are you and what is that you do. So whatever you are doing, however small it is, always make sure that you are sharing out so that others can learn from you. If you have done something, is social media or the media platform is a good way that you can be able to correct yourself and know the kind of mistake that you have made. Don't be worried of about the bullying on the social media, but you have to be strong enough to sustain yourself in the industry. So thank you, Ida, for that chance. That's my closing remarks.
Thank you so much. I can't tell you how many times Solomon has volunteered to do this for us, and we can't even be able to repay. We are very grateful. Sarafana, welcome so much. Sorry we missed you. We are just about to close, but we are happy you have made effort. We hope you are well in Marsabit. Thank you. Thank you so much. We will be sharing the recording with everyone so that at least for those who may have come in late due to one challenge or another, at least you'll be able to catch up. It was quite a good discussion and a good learning forum. Thank you very much, and please do the homework that I've told you to do. Google your name, Google Alerts, open LinkedIn, and all the others. Thank you. Have a nice weekend. Have a restful weekend and stay safe. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Eda. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye
Eda.
Bye, Josephine. Nice to see you.
I know I've been in and out, but I'm glad you did this.
I'll
It's an
send
important
the
talk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ida, finally we are done.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Sasa, thank you. Bye. Ida, let me
Bye.
get to another meeting.
Okay, get into another meeting. Bye-bye. Bye all. Sorry about the background. I had to keep it dark. Okay, I can stop so that I save the recording. Yeah. Save this.